I don't approve of any assassination of any political leaders. I don't approve of any violence. And I think we take that moral high ground and remain consistent with that.
So, in the sense that you say you don't approve of any violence, I imagine that goes both for Hamas on October the 7th as much as Israel's response.
Yes, there's no question. The only concern, Richard, is the attempt by the discourse, particularly in the West, to erase the decades prior to October the 7th.
But the moment you import the events prior to the 7th, you are giving a quasi-legitimacy to the 7th, which is, of course, the problem.
Well, it is partly a problem, but then you must remember, it is a fight against colonization, a fight against dispossession. Don't deny that. I mean, they went through all our battle for countries like us who have been colonized. We know what anti-colonialism is. We know about the battle against imperial power. So you don't talk about 1, 2 incidences which we may not or necessarily approve. But then the discourse in the West is when they only highlight these so-called excesses and forget the thousands and hundreds and thousands being killed from 48 Nakba to Shatara Shabila in Lebanon, in the West Bank, and also in Gaza. That is the only issue. There is no consistency, there is contradiction, there is hypocrisy.
But there is arguably equivocation by you in your answer when you don't unequivocally condemn the 7th.
Yes, I'm concerned about that. Although I see my position is consistently against any form of violence, fair. But then, my concern is when this is being highlighted by the West, in the Western media, and at the same time condone continued occupation and aggression and genocide. That is our concern. If, for example, we have the international community take a moral high ground consistent, then I realize, oh yes, we must stop the excesses.
But you would accept, A, Israel's right to exist.
Yes, yes.
And B, Israel's right to defend itself.
Yes.
Are you worried about a President Trump returning to the White House?
That is what for the Americans to decide. We have a concern.
I didn't ask whether the Americans would decide. I asked whether you were worried.
We are concerned with some of his statements concerning, in the sense that his position on human rights or democracy or banning Muslims entering the United States, things like that, But hopefully, sanity would prevail, and when you are holding office, hopefully you get good advice and adjust accordingly.
Why do you want to join the BRICS? As the BRICS has expanded, it's become more irrelevant. It's as a group of countries of limited commonality.
Well, it's not a political arrangement, it's more economic and trade. And we want to expand. Malaysia is a trading nation. I mean, we have benefited immensely from our collaboration with the United States and Europe, now growing with China. And with BRICS, we think we are opening up the avenue for increasing trade and investments.
On this trade question, you may join the BRICS, and then President Trump may get elected and introduce protectionism, increase tariffs on your exports. That won't be good.
Whether we join BRICS or not, the protectionist policy will affect our... I mean, it's huge microchips and superconductor chips export to the United States. So 26% of our production is exported to the United States. It will certainly affect us.
There's huge confidence in the Malaysian economy, largely brought about by the stability that your administration has brought about. But you know as well as I do, stability is only here today and can be gone tomorrow. What do you need to do here to maintain that stability and that growth?
I think stability for now and I think for the near future is quite settled. As far as we see in the last year, by-elections have shown that there is a shift of support, including the rural Malay Muslims, to government parties. Now, but more than that is to assure the public that this stability is for them. not to keep and entrench the elites in power through clarity of policies, to efficient method in terms of enforcing policies, and the issue of good governance and effectively combating corruption. I've said this is a crusade against corruption.